All right, so the next question would be, can you go through and briefly explain the content mirroring diagram with the GBP included? Okay, sure. Marco and Hernan will remember some of this too. Content mirroring, theme mirroring. Network Empire called it theme mirroring. I kind of changed the name to content mirroring, which is we had two versions of that. So let me just show you what we had. We had the old version, which included, excuse me, that's this one, which was for projects that had Google Business Profiles. Okay. Then I had the newer version, which is the one without the Google Business Profile. Let's see if the graphic is still there. There it is. This is the original version. And then I created a newer version that doesn't require Google Business Profiles. And so I'm going to show you both. Let me just open up Flowster again in another browser tab, and then I'll show you what I mean. Because we can compare the two side by side. If I can find it. Sorry, I went the wrong folder. Right there. Okay, so this is the more current image. So you'll see that if we compare these two images, the only difference here is that you put a Google Business post, although now Google Business posts aren't like they used to be, right? We used to have inner page URLs of the Google Business website that we could create, we could use as you could embed those. So you could take a Google Business post URL and create an embed out of that, an iframe it so that you could embed it. And what we would do is just take the same post, the page that we would summarize into a Google Business post, which would be 200 to 225 words, roughly. It's 1,500 characters or less, which works out to be in the range of 200 to 225 words. So we would take the page, summarize it using something like back in the day, Quillbot, before there was all the AI writing assistants and ChatGPT and all that. Quillbot is what we used back in the day to do that, to do a summary of a page. And then we would create the Google Business post, publish the post, get the inner page URL from the GB website, and then create the YouTube video from the post text because it's the same amount of text. That would create a video roughly a minute long, a minute to a minute, 15 seconds long with text to speech option and all that. And then we would create the G site silo. These were older G sites though. And G sites used to be able to be embedded. They can't be embedded now, which is why now the G site's the outermost layer instead of one of the internal layers, because this is the outermost container. And so if you were going to insert Google Business Profile, I would put it in right here. That makes sense. But the problem is you have Google Business posts that I don't think can be embedded anymore because they're just in that pop-up from the cloud, on the SERP page. You don't have an inner page URL anymore. So we still use Google Business Posts like crazy for local stuff, but I use it mainly to link out to branded and supporting assets and also various page URLs on the main website, so that we force Google to recognize what we want Google to know about the business, if that makes sense. So that's what we use it for mainly now, not for part of this. That's why this kind of updated version here doesn't have the GB posts in there. It was specifically for that reason, because Google kind of did away with that. But if you were going to insert Google Business Profile stuff, it would just go in around this layer in between the money site and the blogger, if that's clear. Okay, so hopefully that made sense, Uzaipo. But again, I would just omit that part of it. What you can do is just at this layer here, right? In this right here. And look, I'll demonstrate this, guys. Let's just go take a look at tree service, Newburgh, Kentucky. I don't think I spelled that wrong. I think it's Newburgh with the U, that is. Right there's the G site. Go to that page specifically. So this is what I'm talking about. So you see right here is the Blogger blog. And so you could put the Google Business Profile here, right? Like, so you can embed the Google Business Profile map in the Blogger blog. And so that's going to be the first kind of layer here, is that, you have the money site, which is iframed along with the YouTube video, is embedded into the Blogger post that you create. So you mirror the 1-to-1 ratio for the pages that you want to mirror. You create a separate page on Blogger for that. That's where you would embed the Google Business Profile map for that project or that campaign. That makes sense. So now you've got that embedded in there, and then all you're doing is embedding that page into a cloud page. I've showed you guys we've been using Google Cloud Pages for that, but that's what this is. This is a Google Cloud page on Cloud Store. Or no, actually this one's on S3. And I think in the training, the SOP, we did it on Google Cloud storage. But anyways, that's just another container that contains the Blogger blog post, right? And the YouTube video, and you can put the Google Business Profile map embed in this one too. It looks like I got some broken stuff on here. but you could put the Google Business Profile Map embed in here too if you had it. At the time that I created that one, I didn't have a GBP for this project. So that's part of the reason also that I omitted it, because I didn't have one for that project, but it was also because Google Business Post changed. So good question.